He's right in that clearing. Standing there right in that clearing. Right above that cedar
looks
tree.
Looks like he's coming down.
Yeah.
Working his way down. Finally, we spotted an absolute jaw dropper.
We need to drop down off this hill right here so they don't see us.
Yeah, there's all those other deer up there.
Yeah.
Cal.
Okay. One best way to hunt whitetails is trained to have binoculars, spot and scope, sit on a point, high vantage point, see what's going on, and you can make a move on these deer. Right there, right there. He's gonna come out right there. Let's get ready. Cedar trees, look at the bottom. Right there he is. He's coming out behind that cedar tree. Meh! Meh! There he comes.
Is he coming back out? Hey, there was one above it. Did you see that?
No, that's him running to the left.
Well, there was just one that came above it. No, there's more in there. There's definitely more. You see, they're all coming out.
What's chasing them?
Yeah, there's definitely more than just him in there.
What was that? Getting nervous.
Oh, there he goes.
What he's getting nervous from.
Now, I've been lucky enough to hunt South Dakota in the past. In fact, I got a beautiful white-tailed deer a couple years ago. I just got a big buck. Check out the size of this buck. Now, most people, they'll talk about ground shrinkage. I think I've got some ground growth. And on this trip, well, I would be traveling to one of the best whitetail destinations in South Dakota as far as I'm concerned. It is going to be on the Rosebud Reservation.
For almost 150 years, the Lakota tribe has occupied the lands of the historic Rosebud Reservation in southern South Dakota, which offers some 2,000 square miles of prime hunting territory. Here with Chris Kaiser of Double K Guide Service, Melissa has a chance at a great buck on this Winchester Rack Masters.
On this hunt, I was extremely lucky because I was actually working with Chris Kaiser from Double K Guide Service and Dean Lunderman from the Rosebud Reservation. Chris Kaiser is someone who's had a lot of nice bucks under his belt over time, and he's grown up around the Rosebud Reservation. So what better person to take you around, show you around, and help out? And Dean Lunderman, well, he was an absolutely great guide to have. And when you're going to an area like this, you really need to surround yourself with people who knew the area. Now, I was just coming in, so I was all about taking any advice that I could get. Now, granted, I've been a whitetail hunter since I was a little kid, but when you come into a new area, well, I'm a firm believer in taking advantage of the people that know the area and know the deer movement. Well, the sun is just coming up and it is a crisp, cold morning out in South Dakota. Now I'm out here hunting the Rosebud Reservation and we've climbed up to a high point to try to glass all this area behind me. Now there are some great trails here, but the toughest part today, it is cold. It's about 16 degrees and we've got 30-mile-an-hour winds. But the good news is a lot of these deer are gonna be coming looking for a place to bed to get out of the wind.
I've heard all my life, oh, it's a windy day, the deer are gonna not move, they're gonna lay low. I tell you what, out in any of the plain states, if the deer didn't move because it was windy, they'd starve to death. They know how to handle wind. I've seen them feeding out in big open fields in 30-mile-an-hour winds. They know how to handle wind.
And we've got a great place to look over the area. There's trails, there's thickets. We just are gonna keep our eyes open and try to find a buck, maybe heading into one or even on the move.
We like to stay on the ground, spot and stalk, try and locate our whitetails and keep moving, keep it going. Spot your whitetails, get them patterned, and develop a game plan.
The land is pretty open, so using binoculars and rangefinders and be ready to cover some distance and spend a lot of time glassing and test out that rifle for a long distance shot.
We can get down, get in front of them, or we might even try a little rattling. But right now we've taken the high vantage point. Even though the weather is tough, I think this is going to be a great spot to sit here and glass for the morning.
Melissa will check her rifle to make sure it's still zeroed in, make some filling for a pumpkin pie, and then take to the field on the Rosebud Reservation.
Regardless of where I'm heading when I get to an area, one of the first things I like to do is make sure my gun hasn't gotten knocked around and sighted in. So I just got into South Dakota today, and my hunt on the Rosebud Reservation is going to start tomorrow. So today I'm going to go set this up, and I just want to get a couple of shots to make sure my gun's all ready to go. It's been shooting great so far, but this way I make sure it's good here. Now, it was Halloween not too long ago, so I did find a pumpkin just around the corner here. So I'm going to set this out as well. Now, I'll shoot my target first, but if everything's on, let's see if I can get a pumpkin to blow up. Should be all set. If we can hit a pumpkin, the deer, well, I should be able to hit them too. Now, at this range out here, they do have a bench. When I come to a place, I like to try to shoot how I'm going to be shooting in the field. And more than likely, I'll probably be shooting off my shooting sticks. So that's exactly what I'm going to shoot off today. Make sure everything's good. When I get to a hunt, I like to shoot at least once. If nothing else, just as a confidence builder to know everything is on. Now on this trip, I'm going to be shooting 300 windmill. I've got the ballistic silver tip bullets at 180 grains. This should have tons of knockdown power for these whitetails. They are really, really big bodied out here, and I like to have a good shot and put the whitetails down in their tracks, no tracking. And these bullets, well, they should do exactly that. So I'm going to just take a couple of shots here at the target, and if I shoot well, I'll even take a shot at the pumpkin. I just put in 2 shots at 200 and they look great. But the thing is, this is going to be a hunt. There's going to be some long distance shooting. Now I've been shooting long distance at home, but that doesn't mean I can do it here. Here, 200 yards, I'm dead on. The one thing you can do is Winchester's come out with a ballistic app that you can put right on your phone. In fact, you not only find out the drop and the wind, but you can put everything down to the temperature and get the exact distance using the bullets you're going to be using.
With Winchester ballistics and Winchester ammo, having a ballistics calculator on your side is just something else that pushes that maximum effective range out there.
Winchester puts out a great calculator that tells you exactly how far that gun's going to drop. Probably it's going to be 6 to 8 inches low at 300 yards. And that's fine. Now you know what they're going to do, but that's not going to be the realistic conditions that you're going to be hunting in. Get it off the bench once it went bang, once you got confidence into it. Get on sticks, get up against a tree, shoot off your pack, whatever you think the situation is.
Well, that looks like they're pretty close in there. I'm gonna go take a look. Good thing is there's some really big bucks, so I'm all set up, gun shooting great, and I can't wait to get out there tomorrow.
I'll bet you a boatload of deer walk through that saddle where that buck walked through.
Well, the thing is, it looks kind of open, but there's areas that are definitely thick. Bucks go in there, you have no clue. That's what seems to make it so tough around here. See one go in, they could shoot out to the bottom, top. It's so thick it's hard to tell.
I don't know where it's gonna come out in this country.
Been seeing a lot of rutting activity?
Yeah, most of them been with does though.
They have been with those. Now right away that first morning, well, one thing I did spot a lot of were coyotes. We saw a big group of coyotes. Then we also spotted a young doe moving across. And then finally, we're looking around and we spotted a nice buck. And we tried to get in close.
He's right in that clearing. Standing right in that clearing. Right above that cedar
Looks
tree.
like he's coming down.
Yeah.
Working his way down.
Yep, he just started heading down. We got to get down there. I think if we get down there, we'll catch him before he hits the bottom. That's our only chance.
Sounds
Perfect. He's moving. We got to go. We need to drop down off this hill right here so they don't see us.
Yeah, there's all those other deer up there.
Yeah.
Gal.
Okay. Have binoculars, spot scope, sit on a point, high vantage point, see what's going on, and you can make a move on these deer if they're 800 yards across the canyon. Hide behind a hill, get down there, and get lucky. Hopefully that there's an open spot over there, and maybe you'll have a shot, maybe you won't.
You think he's got a doe standing there?
I don't know. I don't think so. He may have, but
It just seems weird that he just holding tight like that.
it's got to be that 8-pointer from this morning.
This is a good 8-point South Dakota buck, but Melissa and guide Chris Kaiser are sure there's better to be found on the Rosebud.
Well, we sat out this morning for about 4 or 5 hours. Didn't see much. There wasn't a lot moving. We had a small doe and a buck, but the buck was pretty little. So what I think we're gonna do is back up. Chris has got another spot we can go try out, and we're gonna actually split up. We can cover a lot more terrain that way, get split up. He can cover one side, and I'll be on the other. And that way we can glass, spread the distance out, and hopefully spot one of these bucks. Right now we're just switching locations. We sat on a high knob up on Flat Top for quite a bit of time this morning, absolutely freezing. I'm pretty happy to be back in the warm truck, but we're not gonna go in. It's the rut, deer are moving all day, so we're actually gonna go to another location that's also high up so we can see. That's kind of gonna be our best bet today. It's really windy, it's cold. I think that's gonna be the answer. And what we're gonna do, try to cover more ground, we're gonna split up. Both of us are gonna try looking, glassing other places, and hopefully we can find a buck. There's been a great cold snap. They haven't had much cold weather here in South Dakota up until now, so I think this might be perfect. Maybe the deer just need a little time to warm up and get moving today. Now this morning, Chris and I have split up. He's glassing a couple other ridges, and I've got a great area where I can see probably 3-4 different ridges. Now a lot of these deer have been just slowly moving through here. You gotta watch the openings and really look close. So I got my spotting scope set up. That way I can get a closer look if I do see a nice buck, maybe plan the route, and hopefully be able to get Chris before the buck ends up disappearing. So right now we're just spending the time looking things over and seeing how that goes.
Just have to glass carefully.
When you're out here glassing big country like this, sometimes it can be easy to just start scanning over and really skipping things. But when you've got sections like this with really small openings, it's important to pretty much glass slow. So that way, if something might be stepping out, you'll be able to see it. If you find one doe, you better search that entire area, because if you got a hot doe in there, they're really pulling in a lot of bucks.
Deer just came out of the trees over there. Looks like it could be a buck. It's a buck. Doesn't look like he's very mature though. He doesn't look very mature. I'm gonna try to get closer. Might be other bucks in here.
Well, there's just no way. I was hoping to get over here. We spotted some nice bucks on the other side, one good one in the group, and I was gonna try to get down through here. I knew it was thick, but this is just, there's no possible way. Even if I can get through there, I'm gonna have to be on my hands and knees, and who knows how many deer I'm gonna bust out of here. Not to mention it's gonna take too long to get to the other side, and those other deer will probably be gone. This whole area is tough to hunt. I mean, you're looking at long shots. So I think the best thing we can do is try to back out, find a point that's closest to where those deer are, and just sit there. I found one nice point that we could get to, but we have to go through this bottom, and it's just not possible. The only other option is if there's access on the other side and come down, but then our wind's not gonna be right, so I guess we'll back out and try it over.
The hills of the Rosebud Reservation are starting to heat up with the bucks running after does and rut, and Melissa and guide Chris Kaiser plot their strategy.
That whole hillside has got a ton of activity over there.
I think there's like 5 bucks over there. About
There
8
must be
does.
some hot doe in there.
Yeah. That one looks like he's pretty good. I think we should get one down here.
So what do you think the best route's gonna be to get over there?
I think we could go right down here, sneak down this side of this canyon right here on this ridge, and it opens up down there. I've been down there before, so I think if we get down there, maybe we'll catch him coming down, and everything works out.
At least
and then
maybe we
walk
can get
out.
to a point where we've got a good vantage point out of
I
it too.
think I know we can, because I've been down there before.
Okay,
Should
I'll
work
follow
out
you.
great.
Finally, we spotted an absolute jaw dropper. Now this buck, well, he was on the move. And this was nothing new. We're hunting during the rut, and if you do see a big buck on his own, well, he's probably gonna be looking for another doe and not staying still for long. And that was exactly the case. We've got just an awesome spot right up here. There's several nice bucks, big 8, some other really good ones. We're gonna try to just get up to this higher vantage point, see if we can get across. It looks like it's gonna probably be a long shot, so it really just depends what these bucks are doing. But right now they're rutting. There must be a hot doe or something in there. They're all congregating right there. So we're just gonna keep working our way up and see what happens.
Yeah.
This isn't what most people think of when they think of South Dakota.
Right there. It's gonna come out right there. Let's get ready. See the trees. Look at the bottom. Right there he is. He's coming up behind that cedar tree. He's gonna pass that other one, and I'm gonna stop him. Meh! Meh! Nice shot. He dropped him in his tracks. Beautiful.
That is awesome. What a beautiful buck.
Good job.
He came across nothing like quick shooting.
No doubt.
You did a great job
I told
stopping
you it was
him.
going to happen fast here.
Yes, and it absolutely did. I didn't know within this wind that we'd even be able to stop him at this point. But I mean, we're 250 yards away. You gave him a good.
Oh yeah, he stopped. Nice
That is
shot.
awesome.
Put it right on him, right where you're supposed to. Dropped in his track. That's the way I like to see the recovery.
He's
Right there.
right in the shadows, and that looks like, to be totally honest, I didn't even look at how many points he has. I just saw a beautiful rack. I knew that was probably the one we had seen before, and I was just trying to keep it together.
I think he's got at least 6 on that one side, but since he's laying there, why? Let's go over there.
That's
Let's not waste
awesome.
any more time.
So we rushed over, dropped all the way down, grabbed Dean, came up, and this was an absolutely gorgeous 6x6.
Right there.
There he is.
Congratulations.
That is awesome. Look at the time length on that. Look at the time length
What a
on
deer.
this. Beautiful buck. Check this out. Just a beautiful buck. We're out here hunting South Dakota. This has been just an awesome trip. Look at this, a 6x6. Really nice time length on him. And just a big blocky head. Just a nice South Dakota buck. I was all smiles and couldn't be more proud. And everything had lived up to what I hoped for. A big buck in South Dakota, and well, I was all smiles. Well, just a beautiful buck. We're out here hunting the tribal ground on the Rosebud Reservation, and with Dean Lunderman and Double K, we had just an absolutely amazing trip. This has been awesome and a great South Dakota buck to take home.